my paranormal people and all my viewers. Welcome to another exciting, mind-blowing episode of Insane Disappearances. This particular story, or case, I don't know why I keep calling that. This particular case is about unusual deaths in Yosemite. This case is centered around Evelyn Consuela Rosemann. Evelyn, was discovered. Actually, she was discovered on 10/19/1968. She was actually discovered on the base of Nevada Falls in Yosemite National Park in California. Investigators determined that Evelyn Consuela Rosemann was employed in San Francisco as a masseuse. Evelyn had prior employment in the city at the strip club. She decided to take a trip to Yosemite, apparently alone, and was out hiking when something terrible happened. On October 19th, 1968, a group of 3 hikers found Evelyn's body badly battered east of the base of Nevada Falls, near the Merced River. She had a pair of badly torn tan corduroy pants that were pulled down near her ankles. Her sweater had been pulled over her head. Another of Evelyn's sweaters was lying on a rock near her feet. Investigators determined that Evelyn had either fallen or been thrown off the top of Nevada Falls, a height of 594 feet. Law enforcement officials also believed her body had been assaulted after the fall. More on that later, of course. Investigators combed the scene for additional evidence to explain how Evelyn became located so far from the base of the waterfall, 50 feet from the body. I guess they mean body of the falls. Probably the point of impact or close to it. In the middle of the stream, at the base of the falls, they found a portion of Evelyn's brain. Halfway to the base of the falls, they found traces of corduroy from her pants. Evelyn's body was sent to the coroner's office for an autopsy. It was found that she had massive internal and brain trauma, probably caused by the fall. A more unusual and highly strange comment in the report indicated that Evelyn had bloodless lacerations in her vagina. I don't know how that could happen, but okay. Which indicates sexual assault either just before or even after her death. Investigators believe that it was possible that Evelyn was a victim of a sexual assault after she went over the falls. The coroner stated that Evelyn had been dead approximately 24 hours when the hikers found her. Readers must remember that this happened in mid-October, a time of the year where rivers and creeks run low, and the flow is at its most minimal point. The idea that Evelyn fell into the creek and went over the falls isn't viable for a multitude of reasons, least of which is the water flow. As Butch Farabee stated in his book, excuse me. She had somehow launched off the top of it, meaning she had somehow been thrown a distance off the cliff that wouldn't indicate a fall. The initial report, losing my place here, of this incident by law enforcement indicated that Evelyn had been thrown off the top of the falls. Who has the strength to throw a grown woman? I definitely don't know that, unless we're talking about Sasquatch. That's one of the ideas in these cases. Okay, what type of person would then go to the base of the falls and rape the corpse and risk being seen? It's obvious that the reports that it's obvious from the reports that the body was moved after the original fall. Evelyn was dead, and whoever threw Evelyn probably moved her. David Paulides, of course, extensively searched the archives on this incident. He never found one report or advisory from the NPS to visitors regarding the need to be cautious about about a possible stalker or murderer in these areas, or in this area actually. So, yeah, that was a pretty weird one right there. I mean, stuff like that to happen, but there's never no evidence to tell you who did it. I mean, a person was thrown off a cliff, and she obviously landed head first because looking at the buoyancy of the body and looking at what part is heavier than the other, the upper body is always heavier because you got your rib cage and you got your head, of course. I would think your skull is the thickest part of your entire body, so naturally you're gonna fall head first if you're in a free fall. So obviously she hit the rocky floor below and smashed her head wide open. That's why they found fragments of her brain all over the ground. But as far as the fall, now if some you would try to, anybody would try to figure out what kind of being or creature would have, or even a person would have the energy or the strength to literally launch someone off a cliff. And I'm talking full on like baseball throw to where they just fly out and then hit the ground. And then you go down after the body's dead and rape the person. You're ripping off their clothes, you rape the person. And they said there were lacerations, but they were bloodless. That doesn't compute. Now I would imagine if they sucked all the blood out of her body, that's one thing, but they didn't mention that part. But the fact that she had no blood in her vagina, I don't know what that's all about. But that's pretty much the case right there. Now there was some parts here at the end. I guess he's basically stating the facts on this part. Let me see. Okay, we got one interesting coincidence involving several of the missing people in that is that several were photographers and several were residents of the Yosemite Valley. Now, David Paulides isn't sure what to think of the unusual aspect of several of the people being respected photographers, but the idea that many of the missing were residents of Yosemite is troubling. The residents should be inherently knowledgeable of the dangers associated with Yosemite and take precautions. The strange death of an assistant superintendent wife, Leah Good, which I did talk about her in my previous video, exemplifies the point that it doesn't matter what your economic profile is in the park, everyone is vulnerable. And see, that's one thing I do notice as well, that I don't care how much you know about the park, how much you know about hiking, camping, or whatever else, you are prone to be taken by whatever this is that knows how to get around human thinking. I mean, it's like they set a scene for everything. They take the time out to unbuckle a person's pants, like most of the men that are found dead in these national parks or like in a creek bed somewhere. They said when they are found, the pants were unbuckled, well, the belt was unbuckled, and the pants was like around the ankles. It's almost like some being is able to form into a woman, disguise themselves as a woman, and they come upon the traveler, and obviously they make themselves look attractive enough for the guy to look at them and be like, wow. And she's probably naked, maybe, could be, and then all of a sudden they get an offer they can't refuse, and they take action, and somehow, some way, by that happening, they end up dead. Maybe with the pants being down to the ankles, maybe she gave them some oral sex. I don't know. Like I said, this is anybody's guess. I mean, with the way that the evidence is, profile. It's like you can't help but think of these things, and it's weird, yes, but what else can you say? I mean, pants leg is down to the ankles. I mean, the pants are down to the ankles, and the belt is unbuckled. There are some cases where the belt is removed, rolled up, and put next to the body, or the clothes will be neatly folded on a log along with your shoes. Or sometimes all you find is a tooth. So that means whatever was in that area gobbled him up and left nothing but bone, and the bones are very small. So it's obviously the person was eating flesh to bone, and I'm talking full on. It's like eating a piece of chicken. You bite it. Of course, we don't eat the bone, but cartoons where you see a person take a whole chicken leg, put it in their mouth, and just bite down and pull on a meat, and ain't nothing left but bone. But in this case, they're devouring the person, skin, blood, muscle, and bone. And all you got left is a tiny little piece, maybe a tibia or just a fragment of a skull. Who knows? But there's a lot of weird crap going on. I mean, like I said, the evidence and the facts lead you to a point where you can say what this being is able to do. I mean, it's able to kill people without touching their body at all. I'm talking, obviously, they use some type of mental power where they can promote trauma inside the body, and then it'd be so much trauma they probably intensify it to the point where they just die from it. I'm just saying, what else can you say about that? I mean, there's no other evidence to indicate that somebody is actually killing a person with weapons. The only weapon they have is what's up here, obviously. If you can't find any evidence of how the person is killed, what else can you say? They're still dead. So obviously this person has the ability to kill people with their mind, with their brain, or with their mind. With some sort of mental power that disrupts the human psyche or the body. I don't know. But just like I said before about the Henry McCabe story, same thing. So there's a lot of weird things. People being found dead in mysterious ways, where the body is like almost naked and they don't have nothing on but maybe their socks, and then you can't find any blood, you can't find any entry and exit wounds on the body. You just got a lifeless corpse on the ground, where obviously their life force, their energy, or their soul is being taken. So who knows? I'm baffled on the whole ordeal. I can't figure that out. I'm not gonna try and figure it out. I mean, all I do is I state the cases and I use my own way of thinking as far as my own theories. So that's all I can really do. But if you guys can throw some theories at me, I hope you can. You know where to reach me, right here. Comment below. Send me some ideas. Maybe y'all got a good idea. I mean, maybe we can just put a bunch of theories together and make something out of this. Who knows? But yep, that's pretty much it on that. I wanted to see if I can get that in, and I was able to do it. I'm glad I was. So hopefully you'll like this video as well as the others. But gotta go. I gotta start making my food because it's almost time for me to get ready for work. So aloha, mahalo, and ahui ho. Stay blessed, guys. And